Alright, so a lot of prep to get to this point. Finally I've got some color on the door jambs and some clear. So this is a vital point. This way I can get this car out of this booth, get all the other components in here and start body working them. I've got this jamb completely done and clear coated. 2 coats of clear. And the other side over here too. So we're moving along. It's a lot of paper and a lot of taping, a lot of covering, just to get those couple of items, a lot of sand and a lot of prep, just in those 3 areas. But now that that's done, like I said, I can get this car out of the booth and get the other components in here, do all the body work, get them to this stage too, on the back side of the doors, backs upside down of the deck lid, the fenders, bumper, front and rear, and a lower valance. Get all that work done and get that stuff reassembled back onto the car so that I can do this exterior of the car. With this particular color, it's inadvisable that I would, like say, spray the doors separately on the outside and then spray the deck lid. Be nice to be able to do that if this was a solid color, but it's got a little bit of pearlescence in it, and it's important that you coat everything together. So everything has to be put back on the car, realigned. Everything has to be protected and retaped in these areas here so I don't get overspray on these inside pieces here and these jambs and so forth. And then gonna go over the whole thing with 400 like I did with these jambs, and proceed from there. Anyway, okay, one of the issues I was dealing with moving the car in and out of the booth was I'm trying to pull it straight in and pull it straight out. I have a couple of pick points on either end of the shop where I can hook a cable and a winch to. That enables me to, once I have the car up on these wheel dollies, to pull it in and out of the booth. The problem is that I have to stop every few seconds because these wheels rotate in about 360 degrees. You've got 4 wheel dollies, 1 on each wheel, and so it has a life of its own. Car, even though you're pulling it straight, wants to wander over to the wall, left, right, turn, twist. So I had to come up with an idea to try to temporarily lock these wheels into position, and what I ended up doing is a pretty simple piece. It's just a piece of plywood with a couple of 3/16 plastic tabs screwed to them. And what this does is, if you rotate the wheels, you could slide these pieces in here, and that fixes the wheels in the straight ahead position. And all I did in order to lock this, I was going to have this, was going through thinking about all these elaborate brackets and everything to make, but all I ended up doing was just taking a piece of another piece of wood and sticking it on the inside. There's a lip here. You can see this lip over here, and it's beveled. So that fits on the back side, and just running a couple of screws in there. And that holds this piece, sandwiches the lip. And that way I don't have to make any special brackets or anything like that. It just clamps itself to that lip and feeds these 2 tabs into the wheels, and that keeps them from rotating. Hopefully this will keep the car from wandering around when I'm pulling it in and out of the spray booth. The other thing I'm going to do is, because now that I have this piece of wood, I can simply put another piece of wood across the car and screw it into this, just to keep the dollies square with each other, because that's another issue. When you start pulling on the car, they tend to want to turn in and torque in, so that they're pigeon-toed and doing all kinds of nonsense. So this should help me. We'll see. Nothing's perfect, but hopefully this will be a little bit better than what I've been doing. Well, in the It's Always Something department, put these on. They work pretty good. And then I put it on the floor and went to roll it, and this happened, so not too great. So I ended up putting a bolt through the piece itself to hold that block, and so now we're pretty good on that end. Anyways, nothing's perfect. Just thought I'd show you my little system for getting this car in and out of the paint booth and moving it around the building. I have pick points around the building that are lagged into the framing of the building, and have this little portable winch, a little $70 winch from Harbor Freight. Anyway, cable going out to the chain, and that's the car in the booth. This time around, like I said, I locked the wheels, and I had a lift bar left over from my last project that I used to lift the body off, and I just kind of bolted it through the two dollies on the in the front here. Just kind of locked those two dollies together, and also give me a point to pull from. That's my lift point from the original configuration. But anyway, it's slow, but it works okay. Basically, it's just you can hardly see it moving, but anyway, you get the idea. It'll be a while, but everything's cleared out of the way now, and I get it out of the booth and get the other stuff in there and get working on that. Well, she's out. Time to move on to the next step. Just get it. First time I've had a look at this thing outside of the booth with a little bit of color on it. Anywho, that's where we're at right now. Okay, some more monotony. Basically, working on front bumper, rear bumper, the two doors, and the underside of the deck lid. Just a lot of drudgery. The thing that makes it difficult is these irregular shapes, like this deck lid, for instance. It's sanded down now to 400, but it had to be, little pieces of sandpaper going in and around all of these details and around here to get all that stuff smoothed out. It took about 6 hours just to do that. So just inchworming along. I'm still working on doing some of the Bondo work on the rear bumper. The front bumper is about done. Now, once I still have to put some heavy duty primer on this, have some slick sand, and work it down from there. These parts here, they're just about ready for sealer. I have to go over them just one more time, and then we'll be sealing those up. But I still have fenders and the roll pan and the spoiler. There's just not enough room to do it all without knocking stuff over. So that's where we are right now. Well, it might not look like a couple weeks worth of work, but I can guarantee you it was. I finally got the Bondo work done on the rear bumper and the front bumper, and they're both in heavy primers, so now time to start sanding those up and get them to a point where I can at least spray the black on the front grille and some of the orange on the places where there's some visible seams. So I'll be moving on to that next week, and hopefully I can get these pieces out of harm's way and bring the fenders in. And what else? Oh, I got the front roll pan I got to work on. So we got a little bit of color, which is always nice, and I've got the hinges all medium blasted, and I've got them painted up too. So hopefully when these are ready to go, I'll be able to bolt everything up. Got all the hardware cleaned up also. Anyways, inchworming along. That's what it takes at this point. Got to be patient. Anyway, thanks for watching.